Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little baby pacifier chain. I made this one fitting to the monkey baby teether that I made for a baby arriving in March, and I hope you enjoy the video. First of all, you're going to collect all the yarn that you like. I'm usually making my chains out of 5 different crochet balls and then a mixture of wooden beads, such as this one, for example. I like those a lot, those octagon beads, and then round ones just in various sizes. So we have our beads on the one side, and this is my yarn selection for this project. And you're also going to need stuffing, more than this. I'm going to get more than this. And so we're just going to get right into it. For this project I'm using 2 different sizes of hooks because I have different sizes of yarn. For example, this one is very thick, so I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook for this one, whereas this one is a lot thinner, as you can see, and I'm using a 3.0 hook for that. Making yarn spheres is actually quite easy as long as you know the basic math behind it. So we are starting with a magic circle, as almost always. So I have my yarn in my hand, I'm wrapping it from behind around my 2 fingers here, wrapping it once, wrapping it twice and crossing in front. Then I turn around, I have these 2 strands of yarn. I'm going under the first strand, grabbing the second, twist, and then grab the yarn above and pull through. And there you have your magic circle. So I'm grabbing this and I'm making 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Now I'm inserting my hook into the first stitch we made. You can count back if you're not sure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first stitch I made, so it doesn't pull too tight. When I now pull the magic circle shut by taking the tail and just pulling tightly. There we go. And now it's shut. And now I'm inserting my stitch marker. I'm gonna go out here once again. Just put it between the needle and the yarn. Then insert again into your first stitch now. And we're going to increase in every single stitch. So increase in every one of the 6 stitches, and we have 12 stitches in the end. So it's 1, and then in the same one we're going to go again 2. And next one, 3 and 4. And we're going to continue to do that 4 more times. 11 and 12. Now it really depends on what size your sphere is supposed to be. So you can make a really large sphere, like a ball to squish for stress or something, or a tiny one, such as this one, for example, that I already made for this very baby chain. And it all just comes down to the math that I mentioned before. We now have 2 rows, so we have 6 stitches row, and this one is 12 stitches. So we have 2 in total. And if I now wanted to make a sphere that had this diameter and didn't get any bigger, I would do 2 rows of stitches with no increases at all. So for 2 increase rows, I do 2 no increase rows. If I wanted a much larger ball, I would simply keep on increasing and reduce the increases every row. So now I would do 1 single crochet and 1 increase in the next one, and then for the 4th row I would do 2 single crochets and 1 increase, and for the 5th 3 single crochets and 1 increase, and so on and so forth. And I would count in the end the number of increasing rows I had and do the same amount of non-increasing rows to make a sphere. So I like this size already, so this is a really easy project for me because it ends really quickly. I have 12 stitches and I'm now going to do 2 rows of only single crochets in every single stitch. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and do this 8 more times until you hit your stitch marker. Now I finished this row and I'm going to insert my stitch marker again and do 1 more row with only single crochets, 12 in total. So now that we've finished 2 rows of single crochets only, we're going to close the sphere, and in order to do that we're simply going to do what we did in the beginning, but simply backwards. So whereas in our last increase we increased 1 in every single stitch, we're now going to do decreases in every single stitch. So we have 12 stitches now, we need to make it 6 again, and we're going to go into the first stitch, get the yarn, and right into the next stitch. So you have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to pull the yarn through all 3 loops and pull really tight so you don't have holes in the end, and that's your first decrease. So now for the next decrease, again, insert your hook, grab the yarn, don't pull through but go right into the next stitch, grab the yarn again, you have 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops and pull really tight. So now we have 2, and we're going to do this 4 more times. And the last one, now we have 6 decreases, we have 6 stitches again, just like after we made our magic circle. And I'm going to cut the yarn, leave a little tail because we need to sew it, pull through, go. I'm going to pull out my stitch marker so it's not in the way. And now first of all I'm going to take the tail from the magic circle in the beginning and tuck once more because it's the last time we get to tuck it, and then just wrap it up and try putting it into your sphere. I'm using the back of my hook to help me. And now I like to thread this on a needle and go through the loops to sew it shut first and then stuff it with the stuffing, so I don't have as much stuffing that goes through the hoops when I go in with the needle, but you do whatever you prefer. So I have this yarn on my needle and I go through the first stitch, always from the outside towards the inside, and then through the second stitch, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now before I pull really tight, I take this moment, I don't need the needle anymore, I take this moment to fill the ball, the sphere, with as much stuffing as I can. So now I'm gonna just try to push this inside. There's not much room, but I want this to keep its shape. So just twisting and turning and pushing in. That should be good. And now I'm gonna pull tight in order for the stitches to neatly close up. There we go. And you can see there's only just a little hole there and almost no stuffing came out. But I'm just gonna push this back in a little. And now I'm gonna take my needle again. Should have left it on there right in the beginning. And weave in the tail so this stays shut. Just go through there at random. I try to push in the filling a little more with my stitches. And there we have our tiny sphere. Just gonna cut the yarn by tucking a little on it, and when I then cut, it's going right into the ball and it's gonna disappear. So now I made myself a little setup on how I want the chain to look, and I just placed the beads wherever I like them. And what you're gonna need next is a piece of string. I like to use just 100% cotton string because it's baby safe and I don't need to worry about any chemicals being in there or something. And you need it to be twice the length that you want the chain to be. So I just have some extra here and I'm just going to find the middle. And I'm going to make a knot at the end. So I have this loop created here, and this loop is gonna wrap around the Schnuller, what do you say? The pacifier, there we go. It's gonna wrap around the pacifier, and from here on we're going to try to string on all the beads. So I'm just going to put the two ends of this yarn into or through this needle right here. Yes, there we go. And I need to decide which one is going to be which end. I think I'm going to start right here. And now we're just gonna thread on all the beads. Let's hope this works. There we go. And with the spheres, I just look which side maybe I want to hide, because it's going to sit next to the bead, so I don't like the end here. So I'm going to take this part and then try to go through in the center. So just wiggle it through. There we go. And the nice thing is, even if the sphere gets a little out of shape by doing this, you can just simply push it into the shape you like again, and it's gonna be just fine. There we go. I'm gonna keep doing that till I reach the end. There we go. And now comes the last part. We can take off the needle and tie a really nice knot at the end. Just make sure that this is all tight and snug with each other. And now we're going to do just a normal strong knot, so the last bead doesn't come off in any way. And now what you need is one of these. So this is one of those opening thingies that you clip onto the garment that the baby's wearing, and it has this opening in the back, and that's simply where we're going to thread this through. And we're going to do another knot. There we go. And another one. And also one on the back. And I like to go through once more just to make sure that it's nicely secured. Go through the opening again and make 2 more knots. And there you have it. Really nice. Now I just cut this off. And here you have your final baby pacifier chain. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you had a great time making the pacifier chain. If you liked the video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!